Yes, people. What's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We're back again with another video. And I need you guys to do me a favor. Smash that like button. Smash that subscribe button. If you guys are new, Gabriel Jesus gets a hat trick for Arsenal to bury Crystal Palace 3-2. They got a consolation goal at the end of the day. And honestly, we all could have predicted that Eddie Nketiah was going to end up getting on the goal sheet today. Couldn't we have? But we made it a lot tougher than we had to. It was, we're going to talk about the lineup. We're going to talk about Gabriel Jesus. We're going to talk about Martin Ødegaard, Saka, and Saliba having to save the day coming off the bench. The players had to come off the bench to save the day, or else we were never going to win this game. That's just the honest truth of the matter. As for the Arsenal team, I thought, you know what? Mikel Arteta got the whole team wrong. I thought to start the game, you cannot make that many changes in order to try to win a game. You need to have some level of calmness and play some of your main men. You're not going to get away with it by just playing a whole bench. That our bench is not good enough to win a game by themselves versus top teams. Let's be honest. Crystal Palace played their best players to start the game. And they put them on the bench for the second half, knowing that they're going to rest them for the upcoming game versus Arsenal. So that game is not going to be easy. But we're on to the semifinals. Gabriel Jesus not only scores a hat trick, he scores his first goal for Arsenal in over 367 days. That's just 1 day over a year. His last goal was in 2023, December 17th, versus Brighton in the Premier League. If you guys remember that game, wow. Big up to Gabriel Jesus. Big performance from him. Unfortunate that one of the goals was offside, but you know what? VAR wasn't there, so it counted anyways. And overall, the team performance in the second half was very good. The first half performance was very concerning. I don't like the fact that kiwior played that bad. I don't think kiwior is somebody we should be putting our money on to be a reliable player for Arsenal in the foreseeable future. That was Mustafi-esque performance from him. And as for Raheem Sterling, you got to bury some of those chances that he was getting in this game. And in the first half, we were too predictable. We were not passing the ball forward at all. We were always going backwards. And the mentality of some of these players that were coming on was not forward thinking at all. Besides Ethan and Jesus, none of those guys on the pitch to start the game were even remotely on point. Leandro Trossard skying the ball every 2 seconds. I didn't even speak about him in my little TikTok that I did. But yeah, Souls, take it away. What do you got to say? I said a lot there.
You know what? You know, under the cosh, under the pressure, under the lights, you know, Mikel Arteta rises again. You know, he's been under immense pressure to get this right, because getting knocked out again in a League Cup and look, you know, it's in the quarterfinals. If you lose like a final, you know, to a Liverpool, let's say, you know, people take that a little bit differently, especially if we're competitive. You know, it's a one-off game, whatever. At least we got to the final. But, you know, to lose it again in this early stages, especially with the way the game kind of started within the first 5 minutes, we were down 1-0 under the cosh. Big mistake, you know, from kiwior. It was looking like Mikel got it all wrong. And, you know, he persisted with it. I don't think the lineup per se was wrong. I mean, in hindsight, you can always say anything and everything. But we needed to make those rotations because of the amount of games that we've got coming up as well. You know, it's not just about looking at one isolated game. A squad is a squad, and it's a squad game. You know, those players like Raheem Sterling, Leandro Trossard, Jesus, you know, when we look at it in Nawari, like a lot of people have been rating and raving about him, Mikel Moreno is on the cusp of being a first-team player anyway. And then when you look at the number 6 in terms of, you know, it was Jorginho who started, and then Partey played at right back, which he has been doing. Now, where I kind of agree with you is you just can't go and put two people at centre-back who just aren't, like, one of them hasn't even played centre-back for us, and then the other one it is a squad player. So what it should have been is like a William Saliba and a kiwior, or a Gabriel and a centre-back as well. It shouldn't have been both of those being rotated. Kieran Tierney, I completely understand, because, you know, we kind of have to use him at some point, and I actually thought he had a really good performance, you know, considering he's been out for like God knows how long, and he hasn't played for us in over a season. So he had a good performance. I mean, Gabriel Jesus hat-trick, you saw that one coming. But again, it looks like Martin Ødegaard dashed his kid out of the house because he had a wild night's sleep, didn't he? Because he was back, you know, came on, 2 assists, turned the game on its head. You know, obviously Saka getting the 3rd assist there. And it just goes to show, man, like Saka and Martin Ødegaard are 2 vital cogs to the system. Everything that we need to do, it comes through them. and that's the bright shining light. And now Mikel Arteta needs a lifetime supply of paracetamol up until Saturday, because he's got a seismic migraine on his head. Because who does he start, and who do we start? Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz, a hat-trick hero, or a guy that's struggling to find form? Who's the player that we play? Because this is the same defense they're both going to face.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We're going to have to see what happens. Southampton are furious after a free kick was awarded on a penalty foul from Kwanzaa. What the fuck? Southampton were awarded a free kick inside the box?
There are rulings for it, but I can't remember all of them. But there are reasons why you can give a free kick inside of the box.
Why was that not a red?
I don't know what it is. I've not seen it. I have no idea.
How the hell did Liverpool get away with that?
But they were going to win anyway, weren't they?
No, it would have been a penalty. It would have been 2-2.
Oh, all right. In that case, yeah, sure. It's Liverpool, isn't it? They get what they want. I don't know. I need to see it. I don't actually know what happened. So
Liverpool get away with it again. Unbelievable.
But why would it have been a penalty though? Does it say?
Okay, so listen to this. Southampton are furious when they take the free kick. When they take a free kick, or right, when they take a free kick, Kwanzaa pulls on Fernandez. The referee who those appeals subsequently would have been a red card, and would have followed up with the Liverpool centre back getting sent off. Didn't end up happening, and also didn't end up getting given, what do you call it? Honestly, I'm not even gonna try to explain it. Forget it. Let's just forget about Liverpool, man. Let's talk about Arsenal. Enough about these guys. Let's talk about this though. What do you guys say in the chat? Do me a favor. Please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. First things first, I thought Mikel Arteta got the lineup completely wrong. If there's anywhere where we're going to begin, the team lineup from the jump was wrong. You cannot play this team versus anybody in the cup competition. You did not take the cup serious to start with. He thought this lineup was going to get us the win. Of course, you had to bring on the likes of Saliba, Ødegaard, and Saka to secure the victory, because in this front three, none of these guys were scoring goals until today when Jesus started getting goals. And if you look at who assisted all his goals, no coincidence, Saka, Ødegaard. The star attacking players came on and set up Jesus for those 3 goals that he scored. Also, Kieran Tierney had himself a good game, but he is tired after 69 minutes. He couldn't play the whole game. He's somebody who has not had match fitness in a long time. Kiwior played 87 minutes, but this guy's not good enough. I genuinely don't think he's good enough. We're going to talk about him in a bit. Partey. Stop playing Partey at right back. It don't fucking work. It don't work. It makes us worse because he's leaving an area of the pitch wide open and is causing disruption throughout the whole back line. It doesn't work. The midfield, I'm not going to complain too much because I didn't think the midfield had that bad of a game. Even though Ethan, the reason why Ethan has a 5.7, he was one of the only players who actually was trying to take the ball and move the ball forward. Everybody else was just passing the ball backwards. I think Raheem Sterling, every time he got the ball, he passed the ball backwards. I did not see him make one forward pass. But yeah, that's just my issue with the lineup to begin with. I think if you're ever going to play any cup games or any B teams, you need to have at least 4 starters minimum. 4 starters minimum. You can't have a situation where you play a team like this. Simple. But yeah, talk to me. What are you saying?
I mean, I kind of disagree. I mean, we needed to make the rotation just because of the amount of games that are going to be coming up and the amount of games we have been playing. The team there should be on paper good enough to beat a Crystal Palace, or at least maintain Crystal Palace anyway. When you're looking at it, I actually don't think Ethan had a good game. if you're asking me personally, I do think the rating kind of reflects that as well. That doesn't mean he's not got a future at the club or anything. It just means he had a bad game. Yes, he had some positive moments and positive, movement in there where he was trying to be direct. He was trying to make things happen, but you can still call it what it is. It wasn't, that much of a 10 performance where you can sit there and go, he should be starting, week in, week out. But when you look at the rest of it, I mean, where I kind of agree, it's just the centre-back pairings for me. I think that's where you need to have a senior member alongside someone who's maybe played there and hasn't. Like Timber hasn't played centre-back for us. Yes, I know he's a centre-back before people get onto me. But when you look at, Kiwior and Timber playing together, that just doesn't make any sense. Because over there, you've got literally one player who's actually played that position before, which is Partey. And that kind of goes to show everything. Tierney's not been at the club for about, 18 months or so. So, that's going to obviously cause a bit of problems. And you've got a whole new back line to play against a Premier League starting 11, by the way. Because the Crystal Palace, that is pretty much their strongest team. And you're probably not going to see many changes, or any, in fact, on the weekend. So you can't be going that weak in your defense. Now, one of William Saliba or Gabriel should have played alongside the likes of Kiwior or Timber, and that might have changed perspectives, in my opinion. Because Jorginho's he's a hybrid of a first-team player. Moreno seems to be getting more and more trusted, and actually had a decent game, in my opinion. But the attack is fine. Like, you've got Sterling for a reason. Trossard is basically a starter. Gabriel Jesus is basically a starter as well, given when he does play. So I don't think he got it wrong. I think the rotations were perfect. It didn't display the way that we wanted it to.
By the way, I rewatched the play. Quansah drags down Mateus Fernandes outside the box. They give a free kick. He was the last man, 1-on-1 with the keeper, just outside the box. They gave it as a free kick. It should have been a penalty and a red card sending off for Quansah.
No, if it's a penalty, it can't be a red card.
It should have been one or the other.
No, if they gave a free kick, then by the rules they should have given a red card.
Should have been a red card.
Yeah, if it's inside the box, they can't give him a red card for a penalty just because there's a double jeopardy
or a penalty.
No, it's not or a penalty. I mean, if it's outside the box, it's outside the box.
So it's a red card, but it's last man.
No. The reason is if it's a free kick, then it's fine, but they can't do double jeopardy. So if it's a penalty, it can't follow with a red card.
Would you have given a penalty then?
Was it inside the box? I mean, the penalty or a free kick isn't in question. Is if it's outside the box,
circle, just outside the box,
then it's outside the box. It's a free kick, which would have resulted in a red card. Yes. If it's outside the box, it's a free kick. Like, that's not the part I'm questioning. Obviously, if it's a penalty, then of course the red card can't happen. But if it's a free kick, the red card happens. Because there's no double jeopardy in a free kick being given.
All right, whatever. We've seen crazier things happen before, but the referee in the Premier League don't make sense, and it is what it is. Enough about Liverpool. Let's move on to the next thing. The next thing if people want to see what I'm talking about, let me show you what I'm talking about.
I've seen pictures of it, but I just don't know where.
Talking about it so much. Let me show you. This is it.
Referee's okay, so that's outside the box.
Quansah takes him out. The ball's still coming. What do you do in that situation? Goalkeeper's off his line.
All right, it's a free kick and a red card. It's as simple as that.
What do you do in that situation?
Yeah, free kick and a red card. I don't know where the penalty shout comes from. That's what I'm confused about. Like, how is that a penalty?
All right, fair enough. Let's get into the next thing. The next thing is, what do you call it? The goal. Where's that Euro lad? I need to find that guy because he always takes photos of everything. He must have a photo of that opening goal that we conceded, because that opening goal that we conceded was sloppy. This is why the opening goal from Arteta, this is what makes me say, yo, Kiwior not good enough, bro. Kiwior is not good enough, because that was Mustafi-esque. The way he got pushed off, the way he just got bodied. Like, let's be honest,
he didn't get bodied. No, he didn't get bodied. Let's put it to what it is. He was trying to obviously take the ball, but he just didn't do anything. He was just running with him. I was like, what? Okay, because I thought, okay, he's recovered well here.
Bro, he
Then
let
just
the
didn't do
man.
anything.
He let the man take an extra touch, take another extra touch. Bro, it was.
No, but he didn't get bodied. He didn't get bodied. He was just
Okay.
stupid.
He missed the header.
Yeah.
Kiwior missed the header to start. Then he got shoulder barged. He let the man take an extra touch and then puts it in the back of the net. Mateta, you gotta give him credit. He did what he had to do. But Arsenal, the defending for that, Kiwior especially, not that good.
Oh no, it was terrible defending. A lack of commitment to it, because I just thought at some point are you even gonna try and put a tackle here? Like, are you gonna try and just touch the ball or anything? And it was just running alongside him. I was like, it didn't make any sense.
Are you ready to have the Kiwior discussion?
I mean, the thing with the Kiwior discussion is I don't care. It's not a Gabriel. It's not a Saliba. He's meant to be like a fifth choice defender.
Is he good enough to even be a part of the rotation?
I don't care. He was never meant to play, really. Like, he shouldn't even be an option.
Starting games for us if we have any injuries.
That's not his role. It's like El Neni. He's a squad player. Like, it's like a fifth choice centre back. He's
literally like third choice defender.
Yes, because of injuries, isn't it? That's not because by design. That's because we've got too many injuries in the squad.
I'm saying he's not good enough. We should get rid of him.
Yeah, if you get rid of him, keep him. I couldn't care less. He shouldn't be playing. That's a role in the squad, though. That's like, he's just there in case you have a crisis, which we kind of do it in our defence. We've got Ben White, Calafiori. We've had Gabriel out. That's why he's been there, because there's just too many people out at the moment.
All right. Next, Raheem Sterling. Frustrating night for Raheem Sterling. Before we get to Jesus and all the positives, frustrating night from Raheem Sterling. Misses from this perspective twice. It should be easy goal. Like, is it just he's lacking confidence, lacking game time, a little bit of everything? Why isn't I personally, I think Raheem Sterling has been a waste of time so far.
I mean, he's alone. There's not the issue is, right, there's nothing to really get onto him. He's alone. We can give him back. It is what it is. We can terminate it. We're not even paying the majority of his wages. There's no loss here for Arsenal. It's a good player to have as an option. You never know. He might turn up. But when he did say, like, you're going to see the best of me, I don't even want to see. I've had enough to see here. Like, I think it's just one of those ones. Get to January and just get my guy in, man. Get me Rashford. And then go in the summer and get me Kvara, Liao, and we're done.
You know what? We're going to talk about Rashford, but do you really want to go there now or wait until we finish up with some of the other players?
That's up to you. I don't really mind, but
yeah, let's wait and let's go talk about some of the other players first. Next, Martin Ødegaard comes on. Him and Saliba changed the game. Martin Ødegaard's substitution changed the game offensively. Saliba's substitution changed the game defensively. This was the turning point of the game. Palace were robbed. My man saying, you know what? Let's talk about Palace being robbed. That goal. Since there's no VAR, I'm happy that we scored a third goal, because then people can't say shit. But then we conceded the friggin' second goal, so now people are going to say Crystal Palace were robbed. Do you think Crystal Palace were robbed, or we were always going to go win this game from this perspective?
Well, the referee gave it. The referee gave it, so I don't care. Apparently, you're not allowed to criticize referees, because then you have a tinfoil hat. Arsenal fans, so I'm not criticizing the ref. You've done a brilliant job. Great. The referees in this country are absolutely superb. They are brilliant at their jobs. They are ace. Because if you criticize them, then you're an Arsenal fan with an agenda. So I don't do conspiracy theories, guys. We didn't no one got robbed here. There isn't no agendas. Remember, don't forget, guys, there's no agendas. We don't do theories. We don't do conspiracies here. So no one got robbed.
Arteta brought on Martin Ødegaard, William Saliba, changed the game. He realized he cannot win these games without starters. And I think he should now realize he cannot go and play any of these games with a full bench. It's just not sustainable to play that many bench players in a game like this. You need to have your heavy hitters. You need to have your starters in the team to get us at least over the line.
Do you know what? I actually don't even think the starting 11 did that badly, considering who they're playing. Like, don't forget, these guys are rotation players, and they are playing a Premier League 11. Like, they're not playing no scruffs, no bombs, like, where we can sit there and go, this is what... Of course, sometimes you need to have your heavy hitters come on. But,
look look at this though. The players who came on, every single one of them had a massive impact.
No,
Saliba,
100%. I
solid
do
defensive
not
performance.
disagree with that.
2 players had assists. Miles Lewis-Skelly was solid at left back, and Gabriel Magalhaes just came on to shore up the defense in the final minutes because we conceded and made it close.
No, I don't disagree that they made an impact. That's not really on question here. But what I'm saying is, like, in terms of the starting 11, that was always going to be the case, especially against the crossover, because otherwise we're not going to be able to rotate for the next, like, 2, maybe 3 months. So we need to at some point give these guys a break. Bukayo Saka needs it. You know, he plays way too much. Because the issue is, right, you come into this game, right, Martin Odegaard starting, Saka starts, William Saliba, Gabriel, who's been on an injury, he starts. Then we're going to say, well, they play too many games. Saka never gets a rest. Why doesn't he rotate Saka? Why did he play? Because the thing is, I don't think Arteta can ever win in these situations. If he rotates, he's the bad guy. If he doesn't rotate, he's the bad guy. So it's like, for me, I don't look, he at least he addressed the problem. He said, okay, do you know what? Scrap the first half, we're 1-0 down, cool. We can still win this. Let me go and get an Odegaard on. Let me go and fix the problems that this team was having, and then we'll go from there. So I'm not complaining too much.
Next, the hat-trick hero, the man himself, Gabriel Jesus. I did not expect him to score a hat-trick. I did not expect him to score a goal. This is a man who hasn't scored a goal for a year. Exactly. This was the 367th day since he scored a goal, and today he scored a hat-trick. Big up to him. This is what we need. We need a Jesus that's confident. We need Jesus looking good, because when Jesus plays well, we are a fluid football team. We look really good attacking-wise when you have the likes of Ødegaard, Saka, and Jesus on the pitch. But Jesus, his confidence has been low. He hasn't been scoring goals. He hasn't been getting opportunities. And today, he took that opportunity. He scored a hat-trick, and I was really proud of him overall. Proud of Gabriel Jesus getting himself back in form, and hopefully he can keep this up. I'm not saying he's going to score a hat trick every game, but at least make yourself a difference maker in these games when you come on to try to get a goal, or if you start, at least give Havertz some trouble to try to get back into the team.
No, 100%. I mean, he answered every question. You know, is there a future for Gabriel Jesus at the club? I mean, look, it's one game, and it's a superb game. It's a brilliant announcement to say, look, you know, I've still got it in me. But what we need to see is more of this when he comes off the bench, whether he plays on the left, whether he plays down the middle. You know, whenever he's given an opportunity, we need to see more of this. Now, what we need to also, you know, caution in the wind is that he is coming back off another injury, which is related to his knee, which he's been having problems with. So I don't know, man. I've got a headache as well about whether I want Jesus to start, or would I be happy to see Havertz start, or which one I would want to. But I mean, I get the sentiment that fans want, you know, Gabriel Jesus off the back of a hat trick. What more do you do to start? Especially when Havertz has been, you know, somewhat out of form and hasn't been really scoring the way that we want to see him, especially in the back end of last season. So we've got to wait and see. But, you know, let's say, for example, he gets an opportunity on the weekend and he doesn't have a good game. That's when it becomes concerning. But if he goes on to have a similar performance, and by the way, that doesn't mean a hat trick. That just means, you know, we're seeing him be exciting. We're seeing him, you know, be positive and a bit more direct, like we've seen. Even if we take the goals away of today, let's just say he didn't score.
Let's save some time for Rashford talk. First, I want to win the trophy. I want Arteta to play a full strength team in the next game, whoever it is.
I think he will. I just think it's Crystal Palace that he rotated. I don't think he'll do that against a Liverpool or a Spurs or a United or whoever we get.
We've seen him rotate against other Premier League teams, like that are really good before. So,
like who though?
What makes you think he's not going to rotate now?
Because we're in a semi-final. There's a difference. I think in the earlier stages, yes, like, you know, you kind of take a bit of a risk. Like today, even Liverpool played Darwin Núñez, for example. They haven't been playing him for a while.
I think Arteta has to try to win the Carabao Cup. It doesn't make our season. It doesn't break our season. But what it does is it can give you a catalyst to go on and win more, to go on and change the mentality of the club. I think we should go all out and try to win this competition, even if it means playing your best 11 in a game 3 days.
I think he does.
3 days before another Premier League game. And I hope today was an eye opener to him.
No, I don't even think it's an eye opener. I think he realizes it beforehand. But it's just, this is the best opportunity to rotate. And the thing is, Yes, the performance was bad, and yes, he had to bring the big hitters on. But I think that was always the plan. I thought he just wanted to give them a bit of a rest, just take a back seat, and if we need you, we'll bring you on. Because Bukayo Saka didn't come on until later into the second half anyway. So they all got a bit of a rest. They all got a bit of a breather to go into the weekend game. And in the next round, whoever we end up getting, I don't know who the semi-finals are going to be against.
If you get Newcastle, it's not going to be easy. If you get Man United or Spurs, it's not going to be easy. If you get Liverpool, it's not going to be easy.
No, that's what I'm saying. So I don't think he rotates against those teams, because you're now talking about the upper echelons of the Premier League. Now, I get it. It sounds a bit disrespectful to Crystal Palace, but they're not the upper echelons. They're not unbeatable, even with like a semi-rotated team. Yes, he rotated a bit too much for our liking, but I don't think it was unwarranted.
Okay. Before we go any further, guys, please do hit that like button. Please do hit that subscribe button. I'm not even going to talk about the stats for the second half, because those were crazy, but understandably so. They should be, as we were on top of them. We were battering them in the second half, and we were pushing for that goal. Now, what I'm going to speak about is Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford has spoken about, wanting to leave Manchester United. He spoke about wanting to leave Manchester United and potentially leaving and getting a new challenge. Arsenal seem to be the number one place right now. And Souls, when you see this image of Havertz, Saka, and Marcus Rashford, do you think this is the title-winning attack we're looking for?
Hey, listen, I've said it. Marcus Rashford coming to Arsenal, the environment that we've created. Bukayo Saka being there. The likes of William Saliba being there. Ethan Nwaneri, an up-and-coming talent as well in the England national team. When you're looking at these sort of great talents.
In January.
In January. But when he comes through and he sees the likes of Saka, don't forget, right, Marcus Rashford is a player, when he believes in the environment, when he believes in the process and the project, has fired. It's not a case of this guy hasn't ever shown us that he's got talent or ability. This guy is exactly what we're missing. And it doesn't have to be Rashford. What I'm about to say is the profile that I'm looking for. Someone who can win a game when it all looks done and buried. Rashford has produced moments in games where the team does not look like they can score a goal. We've seen it. We've been on the back end of this many, many times where we've been absolutely on top of Man United. And guess what? Rashford just bangs it out 30 yards. And that's what we're missing, those moments, those just take a chance, take a risk, and that's what we need. He's a direct winger who's someone who for me, is the type of things that he can produce is what we're missing. He's a game winner. In the right system and in the right environment, he is an absolute bona fide game winner. And someone like Marcus Rashford coming to the club wins us the league this season.
I'm simply just going to say this. This is much better than what we currently have. My only concern about Rashford is, one, his pressing ability, two, his overall mentality. Is he now doing the snow bunny chase 24/7 rather than actually chasing the ball and being serious about football? That is my main concern. And can Arteta get him focused? Do we want to be the club that goes and signs another reject from another club? We've signed Havertz, we've signed Raheem Sterling, we've signed Rashford, we've signed Jesus. Like, how many times are we going to sign other teams, like players that they're finished with? Why don't we go get Kvaratskhelia? Why don't we go get Lookman? Why don't we go get Leao? Like, I prefer those signings.
We can also
over
go
Rashford.
get them, and then Rashford moves to the bench. Yes, but we've also got to.
You want to get
January.
both?
Yeah, we've got to look at January as being something has to happen in January for me, because the squad as it stands, our left-hand side stinks. There is jack all that's going to happen. Now, what we've also got to understand, right, as a fan base, is there's got to be a bit of realism with what we can do in January. Now, a market opportunity has presented itself with a player who can bona fidely win us this league title, or you can go on to win us cup titles, right? And that's what we need. We need to make a impact signing, and
he could be a bad signing.
I don't think he will.
All right. Well, we'll talk about it another day, as there's a lot of time to speak about that. Finally, Souls, let's do our player ratings. Start with the goalkeeper, Raya. What are we saying?
Oh, David, did he have? Could he be?
He could have done better. He could have done better today.
He could have done better for the. He could have done better for the Nketiah goal, but
the first one also.
What could he have done though? That's kiwior just being a bum.
His positioning was poor.
Yeah, not really. Because you expect your centre back to do something there. I'm not blaming the keeper for that personally. Anyway,
What are you
I'll
saying?
give him like a 6.
I'll give him a 7. No, I'll give him a 5.
Yeah, okay, that's
Give him
fair.
a 5. Next, Partey, 5.
Yeah, I don't even know what he did. So yeah, I
Timber,
agree.
6. Overall, decent performance, forward thinking. One of the more attacking players in the team once he went to right back. He needs to stay at right back. Kiwior, 4.
He can get a
I'm
3
being
because
harsh because of the goal we conceded.
no, he gets a 3 because you know what? After the goal conceded, he did kind of.
Kieran Tierney
Come on.
gets a 6.
No, he gets a 7. He was immense. I actually quite liked his performance today.
Ethan gets a 6.
Nah, he gets a 4.
Fair enough. Jorginho gets a 7.
I'd say a 6. I didn't see much of him.
Moreno gets a 5 or a 6.
I'll give him a 6. I think there were moments in that game.
Raheem Sterling gets a 4.
Nah, he gets a 2. Awful.
Trossard gets a 4.
I can agree with that too. Yeah.
Gabriel Jesus got a hat trick. He gets a 9.
Yeah. Or a 9.5.
William Saliba came on, played 45 minutes, conceded 1 goal and only 1 chance the whole game. I'll give him a 6. Martin Ødegaard got a brace of assists. I'll give him a 7.
Nah, he's got to get an 8.5. He basically changed the game.
Miles Lewis-Skelly came on, did his thing. I'm going to give him a 6.
Yeah, didn't have much to do.
Bukayo Saka came on, got an assist in the first couple seconds, give him an 8.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'm only raising it because we gave Ødegaard an 8 also. As for that, Gabriel Magalhaes not really going to give him a rating. And finally, Arteta gets a 7 out of 10. No, 6 out of 10. He saved himself because of the substitutions.
Yeah, but that's part of the game, though. You've got to make the right changes. So I'm going to give him an 8.
Fair enough. We're going to wrap it up here, guys. You guys have yourself a wonderful day. I'll catch you guys on the next video, which is going to be tomorrow at 10 p.m. Gunner Souls, we're going to have to talk about Rashford another day, and we're going to have to talk about everything. And you have yourselves a wonderful day. Peace out, guys. Love for the love, and we'll catch you on the next show. Done now.